And now part 3 of Sweet and Dirty Apply Textures. Guest appearance by Porcelain Sky. We can't see you, Sky. Relax. Okay. No, because I have your little... Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm screen sharing. Shut up. Anyway. So, we figured out how to read a prop map by applying the map with the red lines to the prop. And then we edited it in Photoshop. This is our lovely new map. We exported it and we saved it, but I'm going to do it again because I think I got cut off. So I'm going to export as, and any day now. I'm going to export it as a JPEG. And just for beans and chili, I'm going to bring this to 75. And I'm 512 by 512. Scale down to 50%. And I'm going to export. And I'm just going to replace the one that I did earlier. Boom. Save. Yes, I want to replace it. Now I'm going to upload it to my photo sharing website, which I use PhotoBucket. And it's right there. And I grab the direct link, not the HTML, the direct link. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to put it into game under the script tab. I cached web image. I'm going to Control V, enter. Voila. This is a horrible example because you can't really see. So I see now doing the same pattern on the back of the bed doesn't look so good. So now what I can do, I'm going to go into my Photoshop. I'm going to add a different layer. I'm going to show you a trick that you can do. So I'm going to hide this back layer. I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to select my red lines right here. And I'm actually going to hide my overlay because that can mess things up. And then I'm going to grip my bucket fill. And I'm going to do pattern. And I have a bunch of different patterns that you can do. You can't really see them all that well. Hold on. It gets cut off on the side, but that's okay. Let's see. I'm going to do... let's see, what size is this? 128 by 128. Show me the size. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. 512 by 512. Let's go with 256. I'm pretty sure that's 256. And I'm going to click on it until it goes all the way through. I believe it does right there. And now I'm going to reapply my overlay. And let's try this again. Export as JPG, 75% on the quality. 512 by 512, because right now my image is actually 1024. And then export. And I'm going to test number 2. And oops, skipped ahead. I'm going to upload it. And I copy. They can't hear you, sweet. It's okay. And then there we go. It's still an ugliest in bed, but you can see how it works now. No, they can't hear you either, Sky. I tried to figure it out. Don't make me giggle. Too late. Okay. So that's essentially it. There's a couple other things. You can play with your emissives on it. What you can also do, there's another trick I can show you really quick because I'm only at 5 minutes. So hey, let's make it a 45-minute full-on class here. Well, the first one was 10 minutes, the other one was 15 minutes, and now we're already at almost 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Sky was like 45. Sorry, I'm having to narrate you guys along with me doing this, so I'm not narrating that. Okay, so there's a couple of tricks you can do. Since I imported this basically as a regular image, what I can do is I can go over here on my layer. I can right click and I can hit edit content, and that's going to pop open a new window. This image is already what? Image size 121 by 121. I'm actually going to make this 128 by 128 just because most of the textures I deal with are going to be 1024, 512, all that kind of stuff. So to make it easier and for it actually the pattern to lay out properly, I want to just keep it within those bounds. And so I said, okay. And then I'm going to go and hit edit, and down here to define, Sky, you should actually be paying attention to this because this could be helpful for you. I know I'm going to have to teach you both 2 or 3 times over after this, but still, this is one last time I'll have to do it. Tell those douchebags to shut up and you're trying to learn. Okay, so back to the video. This is a 128 by 128. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit already we have the image like this. I'm going to make a pattern out of this. So that way you can actually make matching furniture. Because this is seamless, that'll be easy. So I'm going to hit define pattern. And I'm going to call it brown swirls. Now I'm going to go close this, and no, I don't want to save it. And I'm going to hide my overlay again, make a new layer. I still have it selected, so I can just dump on there. I'm going to go back to my pattern on my bucket fill, go down to the bottom, boom, it's already there. And voila, I have a cute little swirly thing. Then for this right here, I'm actually going to do, let's see, I'm going to select, load selection, make a new selection, new layer, and I want to do, since I already have some pre-made patterns, let's go with my cute little owls. Why aren't you doing this? There we go. There it goes. Cute little owl comforter. Reapply my overlay. If you want to give it a better fabric look to it, you can either create your own kind of fabric texture, or you can grab some off online. Just make sure you have license to reuse it. And let me see if I have one ready to go. Place linked. I have, here we go. I can put that in there, and it's loading. There we go. I'm just gonna plop it right on top of this other guy. And then I'm gonna make this one visible again. I'm gonna actually select this as multiply. And I'm gonna, that actually looks pretty decent. And if I want to do a nice little, oh, I need to hurry it up. I'm gonna duplicate this layer. I'm gonna bring it up top. And I'm gonna edit, scale. I actually need to make this a little bit easier to see where I'm at. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to teach right now, and you guys are just goofing off. You're making me feel like a jackass for trying to help out somebody, so, hush it. No, you're fine, sweet. Sky's the one who's being a butthead. Oh, be a butthead, that's what you did. Alright, so, anyway, I'm making a little bed turnover thing right now. So, like, we actually made the bed after we, you know, boned on it. So, I gotta be really quick about this because I'm running out of time. So, bring back the opacity on that. Uh-oh. There we go. Make these guys visible again. Yeah, hit the check mark. Make these visible again. And that'll actually work pretty good. There's some other fancy stuff you can do with gradient. So I'm going to actually load this selection, select load selection, and do gradient. Okay, so I got my paint bucket. I'm going to actually switch that over to gradient. And I'm going to do black to white. Black to transparent, excuse me. And then I'm going to do a new layer just because to make it easier. I'm going to hold down my shift key, and there's a bug flying by me. That's great. So I'm going to click and drag down a little bit. And do it again because I want it a little bit darker. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go right here. Do the same thing from the bottom. It's pretty good right there. And then from the side a little bit. And then I'm going to inverse selection, and that's, I'm going to really quickly do select right there, hit my shift key, hold it down, drag a little bit, and I got my little shadow. I need to make it a little bit darker. And that actually should do it. Let's test it out. I'm going to put my overlay back on. And export as. I have to make this really quick because I don't want to get cut off again. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm still probably not going to make it. And you have your final bed.